Right. Okay. Welcome. You all right? We're back. It's the whole team. Everyone is here. We're going to do, well, originally we were going to do a tier list for 2023's investigations. But we've decided we're going to do a tier list for every single investigation that we have done. Starting with Darren Woods and finishing nearly with Darren Woods with the Ancient Ramin. So we have devised, I'm going to give full props to Scott. Scott has devised a tier list for us, of which we will have the template link. I'll put it down in the description, unless you listen to this on audio. But I'll put it in the Spotify description and stuff, where you can make your own. So you can put our investigations into whatever order you prefer, and we would love to see them. It'd be really interesting. So the parameters are very vague, okay, because you could be like, is it based on what kind of evidence you get? Is it based on how scared you were, or any of this, or how well you thought the video came out? So we're just gonna do like whatever you felt. However you feel about the investigation overall, all things considered, that will be what you determine. We've got S, A, B, C, and D. Now, if something's in D, that doesn't mean we think it's shit, but there has to be a bottom category, and so it's just kind of like, for me personally, I don't think we've ever done a bad investigation. So it's more, if I put something in D, it's my least favorite. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's not an ego thing. Like, if I thought we did a shit investigation, I would be like, right, let's have a shit tier because that one is going in it. But I genuinely don't think that we've ever had a shit investigation. So yeah, is everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that.
Okay, I think we'll cut the sort of small talk at the start, because this could be quite lengthy. Obviously, for the audio listeners, you're not going to be able to see the tier list, but we're going to describe it as best we can. And then I'll read it out at the end what the end tier list is. Okay, let's bring up the tier list. So we have every single investigation in order that we have done as a team, and we're going to go in order. And it doesn't matter whether you were there or not, because obviously you've seen the videos and stuff, so you still have just as much input as anyone that was there. It'd be quite interesting. I'll tell you what I'd like to do, though, is have a little count up of like, obviously I was at every single one, but like, for you guys, how many you guys were in and stuff. That'd be really cool. Okay, so we'll start off with Darren Woods 1, me, Bailey, and Lozzie. This was back in 2020.
Think so. Or
it was just after lockdown ended.
Yeah, it was like August of thingy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the end of the summer, wasn't it?
I remember because I've got a beanie on in that video, and my forehead was sunburnt. and
it wasn't even cold.
Fucking stung, man. It stung. Yeah, it weren't, because I took that Hobo Jack Sherpa, which is now, and this is no disrespect at all, love Hobo Jack, love the boys over at Hobo Jack, but it is now my cats use it as a bed, because they just like, you ever had it where like a pet will sit on something and you're like, well, that's yours now, because I can't take that from you.
There's also your like 150 quid Ridge bag that's also now Small's bed, because we just can't, anywhere we put it, same with the Sherpa, they will find a way to sleep on it.
Sit on it.
Jesus.
Absolutely mad. Yeah. But yeah, that's a big takeaway from that investigation, was the fucking sunburn on my forehead. But obviously, the biggest thing from that night, I hate sunburn. I hate sunburn with a passion. But yeah, the biggest takeaway from that for me was obviously the knife, which I don't care if you're out there skeptical. We did not put that fucking knife there. And, do I think that it's, paranormal hocus pocus? Ooh. No, not anymore. But the fucking chances. I know we've said it so many times. The chances. And we've been back since.
Yeah.
And we tried to find it. And just the shit. It sounds so stupid to say, but the sheer amount of fucking trees in that forest.
I think it's creepier that it's not paranormal, personally. I think that's horrible. The fact that there's a potential that you missed it, there's a potential that you didn't miss it, and that somebody put that there while you guys were faffing about doing something else is awful.
Yeah.
I think.
The
think
only
that's
saving
horrible.
grace,
isn't it? That we're never going to find we're never going to have the answer for it. Like, was it there when we got there? Most likely, yes, it probably was.
I feel like it was seemingly rusting, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was definitely there, wasn't it? But it's one of them ones that we'll never know, because it's like
you can never be
on the
100%
hill.
sure.
I would die on the hill that I'll be like, how have I not seen a
That was
fucking
eye
knife
level.
where I've put my fucking bag down?
And it was eye level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfathomable to miss that.
I also
Mental.
Not to jump ahead into future investigations that we're going to write, but I'm pretty sure you did find the tree in the newest investigation.
A few people did say that
because there's a rusty hole spot. It
I
looks like a rusted hole spot.
Yeah, it's literally the last tree that we dwell on before we move to the next section.
Yeah,
I like to think a viewer. I like to think a viewer has the knife in their house now, that as a display piece on the wall.
I mean, to
be fair, if I was a local and I watched that video back in the day and I knew vaguely where it was, I would have gone and had a look.
Yeah,
for sure.
So if you have that, let us know.
Yeah,
we'll buy it off you.
And it was a really interesting investigation. I mean, there's fuck all to it. There's literally a Ouija board and some torches.
Yeah,
great video though.
And
good fun.
It was
and
a great
candles.
video.
I mean that shot there in the thumbnail. That is
that's a winner.
That is such a sick shot.
Yeah,
that's probably the coolest looking setup we've had for a Ouija board.
Yeah,
yeah, for
most
sure.
Uncomfortable probably as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
I think
horrendous.
It was the hardest to do from the looks of it in the video, but it looked the coolest when it was set like that.
Yeah, and obviously, that was still when I was incredibly skeptical. I mean, I was literally taking the piss out of paranormal investigators in that video.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Yeah, I know, innit? But that Ouija board was a mess. Taking your hands off and stuff, moving around,
Yeah.
And then obviously some weird shit happened.
Yeah.
Right. Before we go on, because I forgot to fucking say this in the last podcast episode, just while I remember, weird shit happening, right? So the haunted doll, there has actually been an update. So basically, Christmas Eve, my mum stayed round. And then we went to my uncle's on Christmas Day. But anyway, so my mum stayed round. So she stayed in this room where the haunted doll is. The haunted doll is on the windowsill, right? And we've got a futon that obviously folds out into a double bed down there, right? And she slept in that bed. And she told me in the morning that she had a nightmare that there was something stood on the bed behind her, which she was sleeping facing the door. The windowsill is behind her. And she was like, it wouldn't leave. And I shouted for you. And in the dream, as in me, and in the dream, I ran through and then the thing disappeared. And then she was fine. But so she didn't know, because it's behind a blind. She didn't know there was a haunted doll on the windowsill behind her, but had a dream that she was laying in that bed and behind her was some sort of ominous thing. How weird is that?
That's
she didn't know.
It's a hell of a coincidence, if nothing else.
Hell of a coincidence. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking rough. We also had Brad stay over last night on that futon. Should I message him now and see if he had any nightmares?
Yeah, can ask.
I'm going to do it, and then we might get an answer before the end of the podcast.
Good idea.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was it. My mum had a weird experience in that room, and then so she was just telling me because I was like, how do first time she stayed over, I was like, how did you sleep? And she told me that, and then I sort of waited 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm gonna have to tell you.
Did you realize as soon as she told you that?
As soon as she was telling me, I was like, oh my god! And I didn't want to scare her, and I was like, fuck it, she's not staying again tonight, so I'll tell her. And I was like, yeah, there was a haunted doll literally where you were describing that thing being in your dream.
How did she take that news?
Not great. She wasn't too pleased. But she was like, you let me sleep in a room with that. I was like, yeah, sorry. But yeah, so that was that. Anyway, I just wanted to tell. I know it's a bit of a tangent. I just want to tell everyone because I meant to say it in the last pod, but I forgot. But yeah, really, really weird. So a little bit of an update on Sean, the haunted doll. But yeah, anyway, so Darren Woods. Yeah, Loz, what do you think of this one?
I didn't enjoy it. I did think it was a really good. Like, it's kind of weird because this was the first one that we did, and then I wasn't in one until like another 10 or so videos.
Yeah, because you're not in it till the haunted fort.
Yeah.
I don't think.
So
Yeah.
it's
it was
weird
about
to be in the first
2
one and
years
then not
later.
in the next. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. I thought it was the first time we went. Obviously, we'll talk about the second time we went.
Yeah, yeah.
First time we went, a lot better than the second time.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if it was just the time of the year, maybe because we went in like towards the end of summer month, and then obviously the second time we went very much in the winter.
Yeah,
But it just seemed more creepy there the first time.
it really did.
The second time, it was just that was it. But yeah, the first time it did actually seem like. I mean, I just remember your eyes, man, when you saw that knife.
Yeah.
You just switched.
I
Like, you were
was, yeah.
absolutely just zoned in.
I was convinced someone followed us and put it in there whilst we were doing the Ouija board. That's why I was so like on edge, because I was like, there's someone in here fucking with us with a knife.
Yeah.
So I was convinced that we were going to have to potentially fight someone who was happy to just carry a knife. So yeah, that was genuine fear at the end of that video. Because I was just like, what sort of sick fuck would do that? You know, that wasn't even like, I didn't even contemplate in that moment like a potential paranormal angle to it, to be honest. And I was that irrationally shook up about it that I also didn't even take time to process the fact that there's rust on the knife, rust in the tree, so clearly the knife had been there for a while. I just saw a knife in a tree that was 100% in our eyes and minds not there before. So yeah, it was nuts. And also we were in like a not straightforward place to get back to. Plus, Loz, you had fucking shorts on,
I was
so
gonna
we
say,
couldn't just like beeline it. We had to go.
Mate, look, I would have let you go. I'd have been like, let me be the stabbing, I'll take the stabbing.
Leave me behind.
Come and find me in part 2, please.
Yeah.
The thing is, they really would have had to been some sort of psycho because they'd have to carry 2 knives.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I'll take 2 because one I'll scare them with in a tree,
One's a threat.
and the next one is the one that's going to do the stabbing.
Yeah, and also a fucking absolute psycho because they're a set. They don't know if we were going to take that knife, so they'd essentially be giving their victims a chance to kill them.
So it's a psychopath with gambling problems. That's a heavy gamble, that one. Mate.
Yeah, it's like, do you know what?
Or a psychopath that likes a fair fight.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
And then you pick up the knife and it's like a plastic toy one. He's like, "Oh, you."
Oh, mate.
I honestly pick up the knife. He goes for his other one. Oh fuck! I left it at home.
Yeah. Mate, I was in a mindset like I was ready to I was gonna gouge this fucker's eyes out. Like I was gonna kill this whoever the fuck this is. Like I was like, well, surely this will go down as self-defense, so it'll be all right.
I'm just glad there was no one walking their dog near us.
Jesus.
Yeah,
because they would have just been deleted from existence.
Yeah. Especially if the dog was off lead and all you hear is running from behind you, just boot some random person's dog in the head, mate.
Shit.
Yeah.
So what have you done? Did that dog put that knife in the tree? Did that dog put a knife in the tree? It's got paws, mate. It's got paws. It's a fucking dash hound. Fuck. Can't even reach.
But yeah. So, but yeah, no, but it was great. And I feel like, it was the start of like, okay, because obviously I was doing all the ghost stuff and all the paranormal stuff, but then we kind of consolidated it with this. I feel like,
Yeah.
And obviously it started. Well, it did and it didn't, because we didn't do another one for another 6 or 7 months.
Mm.
But yeah,
I think it's that, it brought back a lot of spirits to our apartment.
yeah.
That was pretty fucked up.
That's why it was so
Yeah.
dead the second time. Then
Yeah, you took them all with
Yeah,
you.
sure.
went.
Yeah,
Because
we
of how
took all-
bad that Ouija board was, you stole all of the demons.
Yeah,
Left them in
exactly.
the other
I
flat.
didn't even set fire to them.
Demon heist. Let's go.
That's it. But yeah, so I would, and obviously, this tier list can change around and stuff. We can move stuff as this progresses. Out of our investigations, and we can all have a vote, and then from the votes, we'll like I said, if three of us say A, 2 of us say C, we'll put it in B, that kind of shit, right?
Mhm.
I'll start, and I think the Darren Woods video, the knife pushes it along the atmosphere, and the imagery of the Ouija board that we set up with the fucking candles and stuff is class. I would say Darren Woods is. I want to say.
Suspense.
I would say this is hard, because I would say it's like an A-/B+. So it's like between A and B for me.
We're doing
He's
decimal
making up
points.
tiers now.
I'll say A.
Yeah,
I'd go
Yeah.
A.
Yeah, I'd put it an A personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I
That's
think
a
the
unanimous
thumbnail
A.
is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'm
A,
happy with A. I'm happy with A.
It's the thing that started it all. I think that's got to be recognized as an
It's
A
the
at
origin
least.
story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. So this next one, I was in a bit of a slump creatively and stuff, and Maya was just like, "Why don't we just go and find an abandoned place to investigate?"
Yeah, because wasn't this like almost lockdown, but because we lived together, we could go out? Or have I made that
I
up?
think so. Something. I think it was the second lockdown.
This
'Cause
would
It
have
was,
been
it
second
was
lockdown,
January of
yeah.
2021.
Yeah, so you weren't allowed to hang out in groups without socially distanced, but because we lived
I think
together, we were like,
some bullshit
this
like
is
that.
recreational,
Yeah. No,
so
you
we
think you
could
are
go on our
right.
own.
Social
Yeah.
bubble and all that.
Yeah. So this was an interesting one, because this is an RAF base, and we went. The video starts at night, and then we go back the next day, because we realized when we didn't really get into too many places on the first night, and then we got home and looked on Google Maps and realized that the bit that you actually can get into is on the other side of the RAF
Yeah.
base.
There
So
were
we
still
then went back
abandoned
the next day.
buildings
Yeah,
in
there
the bit
was.
that we were at, because there's like an industrial estate where half of the RAF base has been turned into an industrial estate, like all the hangars and things like that. Then there's like the abandoned church and the officers' mess, and then a few like housing blocks, but they're so clearly well maintained because they're so close to like the business park.
Yeah.
And then across the road is all the actual abandoned ones where you can actually get in, and
Yeah.
then across the other road a little bit further away is the really cool like T building that we always end up in.
Yeah, that we
Nice.
did, which
The
is
fucked up one.
the thumbnail with "We weren't alone" on it. But yeah, no, this was really cool. Like, even like what I really like about this one is, I think some of the creepiest parts in this video was actually, apart from the door shutting by itself and stuff, was actually the stuff during the day. When we're
Yeah.
going through all of like the rooms and stuff, and I go into that room because we're hearing banging, and I get attacked by a pigeon.
I think all round this video is really good. I think
Yeah, I
it's
haven't
cool
watched
that
it in ages.
you literally watch us learn as we go, which
Yeah.
I think is really cool. We trial out a load of new experiments, which is also pretty cool. And this is also the video where there is potentially that body in.
Oh, is it this one?
That's this one.
Is this the debut of Is That Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The OG Is That Blood.
And then obviously
the
when we
door's
went
found.
back, the door is sealed shut.
The
when
door's
we
been
go
changed
back.
The
completely.
door's been changed and sealed, like
Yeah,
locked shut,
why would they do that?
in the room that we think
Are you
there was a body
100%
in.
it was that room?
It was
100%.
that is one thing, like 1,000,000%. It was definitely that room.
It's definitely
you
it's the
can-
same. I've analysed the door frame in
Yeah.
slow motion.
And also you
Yeah.
can watch the way that we come in on the first video
Yeah.
and then the location that we're at the second video,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's literally it's 1,000,000% the same door, which is so
Yeah.
weird for an abandoned building for them to go in there, swap out the
maintenance
door
on
and
it.
seal it shut. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
But
very, very
I've
strange.
you know, I've looked at news articles to see if, you know, they found a body or anything like that, but there's not been anything.
Yeah.
So
The biggest, not shame, but like, because we also in our minds, we watched a few videos and we were like, oh, there's a piano in there, sick. We saw the room with what we thought was a body in it potentially, although it didn't smell, which I think is maybe a giveaway. Then we walked a little bit further and then we saw the piano. So we were just instantly distracted by the piano.
yeah.
Unless
But
the
also,
body was fresh, that's why it
yeah,
didn't smell.
Oh,
that's something that
the killer
someone's
was
pointed
still in there.
out. The body was red. The blood, or what we think is blood, was bright red, which means that the body would have been fresh,
Yeah, because it hasn't oxidized.
which
Mm.
means it wouldn't smell. But then that means that the killer was in the vicinity or potentially in the room, in the building, which could
the
explain who
room.
slammed the door.
Well, you do know that I went in the building first just to see if there was a way through. So you didn't actually see me for about 2 minutes.
And you killed someone, wrapped them up in a tarp.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
For our
It's
weekly
not-
disclaimer,
That's it. I did
Jordan
not
has not
murder
committed
anyone.
murder.
No, that was a joke.
Yeah.
If you're taking that seriously, grow up. But yeah, I do like this one. We've got obviously the door where you can literally watch us shut the door,
Mm.
and then the fire door, and then a little bit later it just slams. So, but that was already shut. So, and it's a fire door, so it doesn't blow open.
Yeah, we tested it in the next video. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's a really cool investigation. It is. What do you
Cool.
guys think? I know, obviously, as viewers, but what did you think?
I liked it. I think the door was really interesting. I think
Mhm.
it added quite a bit to it because obviously, like you say, you closed the door and
Mm.
then
Yeah.
you heard the door close later, which means
Oh,
it had
that's
to have
right.
opened.
Yeah,
It had to have
yeah,
opened again,
yeah.
which means
And
something
then
had to open.
and then when we
maybe
were,
they were
and
like
then
peeking
later,
out to see where we
and
were.
then yeah, and then later on it slammed.
Because when we checked that out when we went, what was down at the bottom of that? There was not. You couldn't get through anywhere, was it? It was like
Yeah.
a dead end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the end of a fire exit, but
Yeah,
the
but
fire
it'd been
exit door
sealed up,
sealed.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah. I think obviously we're judging all bases of this of these videos for the tier lists. There is one thing that I wasn't a fan of for this video, and I think I'm glad that we didn't do it again. And it was the floating heads that we did in this
Oh
video.
yeah, yeah, good. But yeah, that was something
Not a
that we
fan.
tried, and yeah, I didn't. Looking back, I didn't like it.
It was
No.
very The Office.
Yeah, I didn't. I think we were watching a
I-
lot of I can't remember who it was, but there was another creator that was making similar videos, and their floating heads really worked.
Mind
But
Seed, I think it was.
yeah, I just don't know why they just didn't.
Yeah. I wasn't so much thinking like along those lines. I was just thinking like, oh, it would be a really good tool for like connecting things.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it was a one and done. Like I just didn't feel like it landed as I wanted it to.
yeah. But yeah,
Which
the
is fine.
investigation itself, I think, is fantastic. It's yeah, it's a very, very good investigation.
What would you rate it?
I'd probably go A for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Watch these all end up in A.
They're all gonna end
Did they
up
not?
there.
I don't think my A column's long enough for this.
Yeah.
They're all
No,
gonna
we'll
end
double.
up
It
in
will
A.
double up. But
What do you guys think?
yeah.
When
I
it
think
comes-
It's
Sorry,
got
carry on.
everything personally that I think the first investigation had. It's got the
Mhm.
mystery about the body,
Mm.
or not. It's got the door slamming. I think like every investigation that is going to be personally for me up there is going to be one of the ones that has like a hook or something that
Yeah.
Yeah.
in.
The thing is with abandoned places as well, they're one of these ones where like there is no sort of safe haven. They're always going to be on the edge of your seat.
And there is genuine danger.
And you never know, literally never know what is round each corner you go down, whether it be
Mhm.
a pigeon flying in your face, a
Yeah.
homeless man, or spit it. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no idea what you're
Yeah.
going to walk into.
Yeah.
So there's always
Yeah.
on your edge of your seat with it, and I think you captured
Definitely.
it really well in this one.
Yeah.
And we covered, I think in this, if I go back and count, I'm pretty sure we went in like 6 or 7 different buildings in that
Mhm.
video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of
I
variety.
think
Like,
it was really cool for like an urbex point of view as
Yeah.
well. I think that
Mhm.
because we went in the daytime, we captured a lot of the really cool, like the coolness
The
of the abandoned
decay.
buildings.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
They love
beautiful
to they love
decay.
to spaff over decay, don't they?
But we can't
Okay.
tell you where the location is. It's
Yeah.
banned in the urbex community.
Yeah.
I will
Literally.
1000% say that this place and the haunted asylum in Lincoln are the 2 worst buildings that I've ever been in. They are horrid.
Yeah.
Horrid. This
Yeah.
RAF base has no business being as awful as it is because it's just an abandoned RAF base where people used to live, but
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
I'm sure it would have been on the cards anyway, but also this location is the main reason why I invited you, Bailey, because I regretted going to this place because I realized, especially with the exit being pretty much a fucking. I mean, to say it was a letterbox is obviously extreme, but it was literally a rectangle like
Yeah, you
that.
showed it was
So
in
you
that
had to get
bar
on your
area,
back
wasn't it?
and slide out and then drop about 7 feet down. So you're like
Yeah.
snapping your spine to get out as well.
Yeah, because
And
it
like,
was in like
if someone was in there and chased us, like we would have had to have barricaded ourselves in a room and called the police because we couldn't have got out like
Yeah.
quickly.
Mm.
And it was very, very, very silly,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so which is why I invited you for the asylum.
To help
my
barricade.
strength, mate.
Because
Just my pure strength.
exactly. But obviously I
does
didn't
make
learn
you
my
wonder.
lesson quick enough because we went to the abandoned paper mill.
It does make you wonder about the like urbex creators that do solo explorations.
Oh, fucking
'Cause you do see
hats
them.
off to them, but fucking
You're
nutcases.
stupid. You're absolutely
They've obviously got nothing to
stupid.
live for.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Jesus.
Oh,
Well, you
that
can't,
or
if
they
you've got
just-
like
So
Just totally
dangerous.
fearless.
But-
Yeah.
yeah,
Like for so many reasons. Like not only could there be, a bunch of people on spice in there that could attack you, but also abandoned buildings are decaying and they're so dangerous for that
As me and
reason.
Bailey found out in the fucking asylum.
That's
Holy
what I
shit.
mean.
Oh,
You
sorry,
could put your foot through the
hospital.
floor
Yeah.
and no one's going to be there to know. No one's going to
Yeah.
check on you because it's an abandoned building.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true. Right, what are we rating this one?
I'll let you guys decide.
I mean,
think
I'm happy
A.
with an A.
I think
Yeah.
A.
Yeah,
I think
that is
A.
cool. Can we just
Paper
quickly,
mill.
Lozzie, have you still got the banner for the bottom?
I have, yes.
Because this video is brought to you by Rafe. Rafe have kindly sponsored this podcast episode. Thank you to Rafe for sponsoring. They do many things. They obviously do their energy powders. They do the world's hottest gummy bear, which I did have it on the side. I must have put it
Eating it.
through in the other room. Yeah, eating it. And they have their coffee as well. But right now they've just restocked the Emerald energy powder. It's very, very tasty, and the tub glows in the dark. How much more paranormal can you get? Use code Duty for 20% off. They've also got a special bundle at the moment. They've got 25 different flavors, and right now they're doing a bundle for every single sachet. So you can get a bundle of every single flavor, so you can try the lot. Slap Duty on it, 20% off. Happy days. Thank you, Ray, for sponsoring this podcast.
Woo, thanks, Rafe.
That's sort of like the way that I end a segue now. A
Nice.
treadmill.
Treadmill.
The treadmill.
It's not even, that's neither of those. Segment is what I meant.
Segment.
Fucking. But yeah. Oh, speaking of segments, fucking hell, right. We're not going to do this just yet, but also over on the Patreon, where you get lots of bonus content, exclusive content, stuff like that. I've started a new segment.
Ooh.
A new segment on the pod, and that is called Question of the Pod, where if you
Nice.
are a patron, I do posts called Question of the Pod posts, where you can ask a question. I'll pick one at random, and that'll be the question of the pod, and then we're going to answer it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that on my screen over there so I don't forget. But yeah, we are half an hour in and we've done 2 investigations. This is gonna
Right.
be tasty. Could be looking at a 2-parter it, or
Could be
if
looking at a
Atma,
5-part.
if the Atma podcast is anything to go by, when we did a game, how much was it? 4.5 hours worth of tier list, wasn't it? Over like 8 podcasts.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that was just for the horror films.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
mad. By the way, if you fancy more of me and Lozzie, head over to the Atma podcast where we talk about everything. This is paranormal. Atma is everything. Right. Okay. This is really interesting because this is purely urban exploration. There is nothing paranormal about this investigation for us. We literally went there. We were like, we're not going to do a Ouija board, we're not going to do a spirit box or anything. We're just going to have a look around. Now, the eagle-eyed viewer would notice where, as we're walking in, there is some police tape on the floor around the window, of which we noticed but didn't really think too much of. And didn't we look? Wasn't someone murdered in there like a week before we went in
I
there?
don't even think it was a week. I think it was a few days, which is why
Yeah.
the police tape was still there.
Murdered in there,
Mhm.
and we had no fucking idea.
And when you watch the video, you can see on like the second or third floor, there's loads of like bedding and like
Mattresses
sleeping
and stuff.
bags and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
because there was people living in there and
Yeah.
someone
There-
was
there-
murdered.
Yeah, there was like fresh food there and shit. It was crazy.
The
It was
two
crazy.
awful things about that is if we'd have gone before the murder had happened, we could have either stumbled
murdered.
into all of those people or we could have been murdered. That's
Yeah.
awful.
And we went like all the way through the building, or like all the way, climbed all the way up, climbed all the way down, then climbed all the way back up again to then come all the way back again. And when I say climbed, right, so you go through the window and you're in this massive like workshop room, which you can see in the video. And the only way to progress, there's one more room next door, but the only way to progress into the rest of the building is there is a refrigerator below a vent that you have to climb up into to then like drop down into the other side, which is completely blocked off, and then you can like go and roam around the rest of the building. Like it's some serious fucking like climbing and stuff to do in that building. And again, if something was to go wrong, you know, it's an absolute bastard to get out of. But
Mhm.
this was a really interesting video. I don't think that the thumbnail is very good. Looking at that, I'd say that's a pretty shite thumbnail. But yeah, it was interesting. It certainly was interesting. I mean, there's a paper mill, so they had all like books and shit in there and stuff. It was pretty wild. Lots of bird shit.
As
And
always.
the shit that's actually in the thumbnail. You can see it there. There's like a hatch that was down into the very, very bowels of the factory, the paper mill, and it had like a chute going down to it. And I was very tempted to go down there, but I didn't in the end. I kind of regret it, but it is what it is.
But you could have got stuck down there, to be
Could have got
fair.
stuck down there. Should have stuck
Just
a camera down there or something.
That could have been where the murderer was.
Could have
Exactly.
been. Could have been. But yeah, very, very, very ropey, very sketchy, that place. Very sketchy.
That's the one where the floorboards were falling through as well, wasn't it?
Yes,
As you
it
were walking around.
was.
There
It
was
was. I
literally
mean, there
holes
was
in the
some.
floor.
Yeah, there's holes in the floor, but there was like one room that was just covered in clothes.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like
Like
fucking
shoes and
5,
stuff.
yeah, like layers. And then we realized that underneath a lot of that was no floorboards.
Nice.
So there's just massive holes that we could have just fallen through and all sorts of shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
proper sketchy, that building.
Mm.
Proper sketchy. But nothing paranormal. We didn't go in there with any like paranormal head on. It was completely
is-
during the day.
Yeah, which is nuts that literally a few days prior, somebody literally died in there.
Yeah, which is fucking
But we
nuts.
were just like, oh, it's a paper mill. Like, why
Yeah.
would there be anything paranormal there?
Yeah.
But it would
Yeah.
have been incredibly insensitive if
Oh,
we'd
yeah,
have
for
known
sure.
that to then go in there and
But
do
we had
any.
no idea.
But we had no idea. I would
Yeah.
not have gone in there if I had known that someone was
Fuck
murdered in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, fuck no.
I think
Absolutely not.
for that reason, we can call the D tier the dumb tier, and then we can put that investigation in the D tier.
Yeah, I don't know about the dumb tier because I have another video that I want to put in there that wasn't dumb. It was just, but I know what you mean.
Dumb.
I mean,
stupid.
I was gonna give the abandoned I was gonna put a paper mill in C personally. What did
Mm.
you guys think as viewers?
I guess
Yeah.
C is kind of like probably where it is, just purely because without like banishing it from the list, it's not really a paranormal investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So I would
It's
personally
just an
put
abandoned exploration, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I would put it in C. But the reason why it is in C and not in D for me is purely for the situation that you obviously found out
Yeah.
afterwards. That
Yeah.
someone killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
yeah. It's just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. C sits well with me.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Okay. This one's really fucking cool. Maya, why don't you tell everyone how long you took to find it?
All right. So I first saw it on 28 Days Later, which is a like forum for abandoned places, but notorious the Urbex explorers are, or Urbex members are very, very secretive about their locations, which is incredibly frustrating. There's
I do just want to interrupt. Because I completely agree. It is very annoying. I do get why they do it because they want to
100%.
preserve the locations. Because look at the farmhouse. I mean, some twat
Yeah.
burnt it down, right?
But
So
some
I
twat
do
burnt it
get it.
down. No, that's the thing. Like the only place that I've ever seen it justified where it shouldn't be on any of these forums is this chapel because it is so unheard of and people haven't
Who's
found it
yeah,
and it's still perfectly preserved. But by the time that most of these explorers get into these places, they're trashed anyway. So
yeah.
at that point, just let it go. Like someone's gonna find it and burn it down anyway. But I do get it.
Jesus,
It's just frustrating for
Sound like
people
a
that
threat.
actually
isn't it?
Burn it
for
all
people
down.
that actually want to explore and do
Yeah,
ghost
no,
hunts and
absolutely.
stuff. But also, ghost hunters are really disliked in the urbex community. So
Oh well,
Oh
F
wow.
them. That's what I say.
yeah.
Jesus. Mine's throwing
um,
hands.
I know. But yeah, it's because of how long I've had to spend searching for locations that just winds me up now.
Yeah.
But it's all part of the fun.
Thing it like we like to do spirit boxes. They like to take pictures of mold. Like, let's
Yeah.
just all get along.
The
Yeah.
decay.
You know what I mean? The decay.
So I then found a couple on YouTube that had been there, and I know that they're from Norfolk, so I knew that it was going to be in the surrounding area because all of their videos are based in and around that area. Then I watched a video of someone else walking to it, and I could see a T road before they walked into the woods, and I could see the shape of the road and the direction of the road, and then they walked into the woods. So I knew that it was a road that was across. I knew that it was in Norfolk, and I knew that there was a stretch of woods in that area. Then in the background of the video, I could see like a pile of like logs, so I could tell that there was recent building works going on in the background of the video. So I basically just looked for a road that looked that shape and a stretch of woods and building next to it, and I found it.
Yeah. Which is nuts. That is fucking nuts. And then we went there. We had a little venture into the woods, and we did stumble across it. We found it.
The first woods that because obviously because it's in the woods, you couldn't check on Google Earth if it was the right place. So, we took a somewhere between 20-minute to an hour journey. I won't give it away because then you might be able to guess where it is. But if you find it from this information, then you deserve it. But we then
She's turned
got all the
into
way
the
there.
thing she hates.
First woods.
Yeah.
You're
No,
now
because this place is really cool. I don't want people to find this place. You can
Yeah.
have the RAF base location if you want, because that place is done.
Fiver.
Yeah. Yeah. But no,
Pay
it's
pal me.
fucking epic. It was epic. Really cool location. I'd like to go back. Yeah, just really cool.
It was sick.
Creepy. I went in there on my own for a bit, didn't I?
Yeah. The story
I
of
need
it
to
is that
rewatch this one.
I think two people came over from the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And he
And-
wanted to open his own church, so he opened a chapel. And I think a few of the local people went there. And then his wife died. And I think because they were immigrants, I don't think that she was legal or something. So I think that he had to bury her in
He
the
buried her.
grounds
Yeah. Of the
himself.
chapel.
And then
Yeah.
he was also then buried there when he died.
Yeah.
So it was,
Yeah.
and the place is just absolutely gorgeous. It's just so like you've never seen a place like that before. It's just this tiny little chapel in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
with like 15 seats and massive piano. It was really cool. Really, really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. No, it was. I don't know how long that investigation was. I think it was only about half an hour. I can't remember. That is in like the video,
Yeah.
but no, it was a really nice video.
Mhm.
Really cool location. Obviously got a bit spooky when the sun went down and stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. What did you guys think as viewers? Obviously, I'll get to stop saying that in a minute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. Like, it's a really cool location. I really want to go.
Mhm.
I really
Yeah.
want to go back there. So if we can try and find it and have a little revisit of this one, that'd be
Yeah, I think that'd be fucking
that'd be
sick.
great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
I
we
think
could even do like an overnight there. We all sleep in the pews.
Yeah,
Jesus,
that would be fucking cool.
I
bring
don't know
the
about
It'd be
hammock.
sleeping, but
shit.
yeah,
Gonna be
Bring
very
the hammock.
uncomfortable, but yeah, bring the hammer.
Yeah, it'd be very, very cold. It's going to be warmer and more comfortable than the Ram, so I'll take anything over staying there again.
Yeah.
We'll
What do
get
you
to that
think of
later.
that one?
Yeah.
What do you think of it, Loz?
I like the location. For me, like if you're gonna do a investigation, I think a lot of it comes down to the location and the building itself. That one, it just proves like it's not a massive building, but we've
No.
done on several occasions in this list there will be kind of there's a couple of hotel rooms actually that we've done that we've managed
Yeah.
to get really good investigations out of.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the fact that you go to a place that isn't like this massive sprawling building and you are able to get that sort of investigation out of it. So for me personally, I really like the fact that you can get that out of a small location. So
Mm.
I would personally put that in B, maybe A, personally.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking for this one, I was thinking B.
Yeah, same. I don't think
I-
we got much from memory.
But the location really carries it because
Yeah.
it's such a fucking fantastic location.
I think going back now would be a completely different experience with sort of all the things that we've picked up since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
there'd be a new approach to sort of tackling the
Yeah.
building. But I think
100%.
I think B is a very solid midpoint sort of on the
Yeah,
list.
I would say B.
Yeah.
It's a B plus.
B plus.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So this is Bailey's debut.
I think
The haunted
letting you lead it, Bailey.
Yeah, the
Since this
haunted
is your debut.
asylum. Yeah, what do you think?
Haunted Asylum. See, this one was this was my first abandoned one with you, wasn't it? So
Yeah, we did the Rando Nautica, didn't we? Is
yeah,
that
we
what you
did
mean?
like we did like Rando Nautica. We done Darren Woods before, and
Oh,
then
twat. Of course. No, yeah. No, it's not
and
your
then we
fucking
did. So this
debut.
was our first abandoned one, like proper
This
abandoned
is the
building.
return of Bailey.
The return, and the exterior of this place was awesome. Like, and then because we found it, we saw it on like Google Maps, and we saw like the footprint of the building was huge.
Yeah.
And we were trying to work out a way to get in. And once we got in, it was a really strange sort of environment in there because it wasn't. It didn't start off scary at all. Like I think I say it in the video a few times. Like, I don't feel scared at all. It's kind of like a very calm, chilled vibe. And then shit hit the fan, and it changed very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few weird bits before the Ouija board. Like DR was written everywhere, which is weird. I mean, it's not really because it probably meant doctor, but obviously being D.R.I.P, it was a bit like, ooh, the world really does revolve around me. And then we also had my genuine, just inexplicable loss of bearings whatsoever, which Scott, you really I thought was sick. You drew the comparison to Step in Possession.
Step in Possession.
Oh, I just want to say I hate to be like, I love what I did here, but threading through our phone conversation, Bailey, throughout this video, I thought was sick. I don't give a fuck. I thought it was fucking sick. I set up a couple of cameras and I just rang you and I talked through it because I talked to you about what you thought about the investigation, and it just kind of, it was just fucking brilliant.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It
Where
was
you were
really,
just
really
pacing around your house.
Yeah.
I took it as an opportunity to flex my table tennis table, and it just paid off. It just paid off. It was fucking brilliant. Really, I really, really liked that because it was also good as like a narrative driver as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously we knew what had happened because I was filming that after the fact.
Hmm.
I swear I talked to you about step in possession before
do.
the video starts.
Yeah. You
How
do.
I'm trying to think because obviously I haven't seen it in ages. I'm trying to think because I don't. Is that like a spoiler that I do, or do I kind of
Yeah,
like cliffhanger it
that's-
as?
It's not a
I
spoiler.
think it's sort of like a trailery bit.
Yeah, it's sort of like like it's kind of a tease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely put into a tease of it.
yeah.
And
I remember
then-
for the because that was the first time I kind of did something. No, I did the solo thing at the chapel, but when you two walked off to leave
Mhm.
me in that cell
Hmm.
to do the EVP, which is what my face is there in the thumbnail. That was really scary when you guys walked because
Yeah.
you guys like walked quite far away.
Yeah.
So I was just left like alone.
Yeah.
That was a
And
really good EMF.
yeah, the
Yeah.
EMF was
session
a
as
really
well.
good back and forth. Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
intense.
I think that's our best EMF that we've ever caught, and it's 1000% the best Ouija board that we've ever had. That Ouija board
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
insane.
Hmm.
The Ouija board was insane, but also the seeming cause and effect of that Ouija board was
Yeah.
fucking mental because that building was fucking silent.
Yeah.
And then it all got the Ouija board was horrible. It tried to count down. We stopped it. We were like, yeah, this feels really uneasy. Would like to leave now. We go to leave. You start hearing bangs and shit. And then it's just horrendous. Couldn't
I
get
mean,
out of
Yeah.
there quicker. And then we
that-
go over the road and someone gets fucking bottled within a
Yeah.
minute. Obviously, it was really good in the end because we got to meet Owen and Sean and everyone. But
Yeah.
it was just
I'll
was
never
pretty fucking
forget.
nuts.
I'll never forget when we were getting out of that building. Ma was in front, you was in the middle, I was at the back, and you turn around and look at me, and I just go,
yeah.
"Here you go."
Because my
Don't
biggest
say a word,
concern,
mate,
I didn't
just
want to
go.
say anything because obviously it was a broken window.
Yeah.
So Maya was climbing over broken glass, and I didn't want to rush or scare you,
Yeah.
Maya.
Mm.
And but at the same time, I also didn't want to almost acknowledge that it was real.
Yeah.
Because
I
it
just
was
looked, I was
horrendous.
just like, just carry on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just keep
that
going.
also then meant you were leaving Bailey behind as you got out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
was
thing-
Which I
locked on
did
that
make
corridor, mate. I
amends.
was like, Jesus.
yeah. I did
That's where
make
you bring other
amends.
people fodder for
I
yourself.
I think it was the next investigation. I made amends by being the last one out on that
Yeah.
one.
I'll
But
never
yeah,
do
it
that,
was
by the
just-
way. Absolutely no remorse.
We won't let you do
That's
it.
it.
It's fine.
That's it.
It's bad enough being the
Feminism.
last one out the attic in the ram, let
Yeah,
alone.
there's no point. There's no point because, like, if I escape a haunted building and you don't, your father will kill me anyway. So I'll die
Exactly.
anyway.
That's it.
Exactly. So
So-
what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the thing for me, like, obviously we've learned through investigations that we're not really the biggest fans of Ouija boards.
Yeah.
And I understand that a lot of explanation behind Ouija boards giving you the answers that they do is because of micro tremors and things like that. The thing for me with this one is I don't believe that it was anything that we could have done because we didn't know about the counting down rule. Obviously, I think you were aware of it
Now,
slightly.
I knew
had
the
no
yeah.
idea.
This is the thing. I knew about the counting down thing, but I know, and I trust everyone in this team now, 100%. But I know that I don't fake
Yeah,
the Ouija boards.
exactly.
So although I knew about the countdown thing,
Yeah, because
I
knew
knew
about
you
it and
didn't.
mentioned it.
And if
Yeah.
you were the one faking it, wow, what a fucking guess that was.
Exactly. I had no idea that that was a
Yeah.
thing, which
Yeah.
which
Yeah, 'cause
leads
I'm
me
pretty
to believe
sure-
100% that that wasn't
Yeah.
anything even subconsciously because of us.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I bring it up and I say, don't let it count down. And you say, what, is that a rule then? You're like, yeah. Is that this
Yeah.
video? He's like, yeah,
think
don't.
so.
Yeah, don't. Count it down is not great, mate. No,
Yeah, I think we stopped on like 4 or something. But yeah, yeah, I think it's a great video.
I think
It
it's a
led to
brilliant
another
video.
video. It's a really cool location. It was a big experience. A big
Yeah.
experience. Like, from the location to going over to the pub, getting that experience to then coming back over. I just wish that we didn't film it right next the pub bit right next to a fucking fan,
Yeah.
because that fucking
Yeah.
extractor fan was like the whole time.
Yeah, but inside
Yeah.
would have been louder because they
Oh
were
yeah, for
literally
sure.
mopping up the blood off that guy's
People were
head.
getting
So
bottled, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
it was
yeah, no,
quite
the Haunted
nuts.
Asylum was pretty epic.
But yeah, there was also just a little slight tangent. I know that we're massively running over on time, but I got a message the other day from
Oh
my
yeah,
friend who told me that her brother-in-law is Cameron, which is the guy that walked us around the
the guy that
asylum.
walked us around the asylum.
No
Because apparently
way.
he was
My
saying
mate's
to
mate's
this
mate,
person, yeah,
brother-in-law.
was saying like, oh yeah, I helped these YouTubers like go into the thingy over the road, and then
And then like showed them the video on Christmas Day. And then they watched the video, and she was like, "That's Maya." And then messaged me. She was like, "Do you
yeah,
know my brother-in-law?" I was like, "What?
yeah,
No,
nuts,
the fuck's your brother-in-law?" And then she was like, "It's
yeah,
Cameron." I was like, "There's no way that's your brother-in-law.
That's
Like
yeah,
so weird.
3.5 hours away. How is that close to us? It's so weird." But what a legend! What a
yeah,
legend.
That's
He
no,
also
crazy.
said that if we ever wanted to go back, because they went in on Christmas Day, there's still entrances to get in there, and he said that he'd take us back. So
Ooh.
we should definitely do that. We
yeah,
should
if we ever
definitely do
want to
that.
go back, we can, which I would
That'd be
be
cool.
so on board with.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Right, Haunted Asylum.
I think personally, just put my neck out here. I think it
Yeah,
might be the first S.
I
Yeah,
was
agreed.
literally gonna
really.
say it.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
was
I
gonna
was.
say it.
Yeah,
Okay, I would
Yeah.
this
personally, like you guys overrule me with S. That's absolutely, I'm totally fine with that. I would have personally put it in A, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I would happily
The
see it in
reason
S.
I would
this
say S is because this is the sort of first video where we kind of pave the way with what we start to do properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the proper investigations.
Yeah, true.
yeah.
And it has a
yeah.
massive sort of hook moment. There's a big old bolty ending with what's cracking
Yeah.
on with all that. It was a gnarly building as well.
Yeah.
Great time. I would say yes.
It's
quite
the first
100%.
one. It's the first one for me that felt like a paranormal investigation, not
Yeah.
an urban exploration with paranormal stuff
Yeah,
tacked
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
This was explicitly a
Yeah.
paranormal one.
I just think this video and the investigation from a personal view was 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I would probably put this up there with one of my favorite investigations ever. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's got to be S for me. I loved it.
Yeah. Nice. Fantastic. Right. Return to the RAF base. Interesting bit of trivia. So the return to the RAF base, we only went back to the RAF base because the demonic asylum, 4 from the end, we failed. No, well, we got into, and then we thought we heard. This is right, isn't it? And then we thought
Yeah.
we heard an alarm, so we left.
Yeah.
So we went over to the RAF base so that Bailey's trip wasn't wasted. And what a fucking decision that was, because we have the figure at the curtain right
Yeah.
at the start,
Rank.
which is
Forgot about that.
disgusting. Yeah,
Rank.
before we even get in there. We have what was going on in some electronics went really weird. What was it? Something happened.
Was it my torch
Oh,
started flashing?
Yeah. Yeah. The
think so,
torch
yeah,
started
but you
flashing.
didn't touch the button, did you?
No.
Yeah.
It's just
You
like
were
all
you
went
were
a
just
bit weird.
holding it.
I was just
And we
holding
were
it. I
fixing
was
the
just holding it
battery.
on the floor while we were just getting stuff, and it literally just started like.
Yeah,
Okay. I
really
was looking
weird.
at like,
Because
what's going on with your torch?
in
mate?
order to do that, you have to turn it off and back on again, and then
Mm.
it will cycle to the next light
Yeah.
light setting. And there's no way
Yeah.
you accidentally pressed it twice, and also so quick that it just immediately went from strong,
Mm.
steady
Yeah.
light to
Yeah.
flashing light straight away. Very
No.
weird.
Yeah, I think from a video point of view, this was the first time you used a night vision camera in a video.
Yes, yeah, it was.
'Cause I think that's
Yeah.
what filmed the figure in the window outside.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh,
Um,
that haunts me.
Yeah.
my only regret, we didn't go right again. Well, we did. We went as far as to show Bailey where we came in the first time,
Yeah.
but we didn't go right down the end. Apparently, there is a basement in this building. But to be fair, we also had the idea of we're gonna go and see if we can see what the fuck this door was all about.
Yeah.
Which only really left more questions than answers, to be honest,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
we kind of deduced that it shouldn't have done what it did. Is that right?
It couldn't have done what it did
Yeah.
naturally.
Was there any? I feel
Because
like there was something else here as well, but am I forgetting it? That happened in this video, or was that
I
about
think
it?
that's it. I think it was the figure, which obviously we didn't spot until
Until
editing.
yeah.
The potential dead
The
body from the last one.
Oh
checking
yeah,
the dead
that being
body,
sealed. Yeah,
the
the
light,
piano had
and
moved.
checking the door.
I can't really remember much of this
No, me
video. I'm not gonna
neither.
lie to you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was more trying to debunk the first video than anything
Mm.
else, really.
Yeah, which there's
But
nothing wrong with. It's what Farmhouse 2 basically was as well,
yeah,
and the basement.
I think this is the beauty that with this building is that you don't have to do anything in it to get evidence. Like the
That's the
evidence
thing with
that we've
any
caught in this
abandoned building.
building, exactly. Like the first time we go, we get a door slam. The second time we go, we catch a figure in the window. That's insane.
Mm,
That's two incredibly strong pieces of
yeah,
evidence. And we didn't even really have to do anything to get them to happen. We weren't even in the building when the figure showed itself.
I mean, the figure you
yeah,
didn't even notice until after
Exactly.
you'd gotten
I
Yeah.
don't
back.
know what's
Makes me
more
sick.
scary if it was like paranormal, like a homeless man.
The thing
Mm.
the thing with the homeless man that makes me feel sick to my stomach, if it was a person, is that they crept around in that building in the pitch black for an hour
Mm.
and a half while we were in there. That's disgusting
yeah,
if that's what happened.
yeah,
No.
yeah. It's horrible. That's the problem with abandoned buildings. The scariest thing about abandoned buildings is not the ghost. I would rather see a ghost
Yeah.
than come face to face with a homeless person on bath salts,
Yeah.
Sure.
without a doubt,
Yeah.
because that's a zombie.
Yeah.
Bath
Yeah.
salts, they will eat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cat, get down. There's a lightsaber on there. Don't break it.
Oh,
Cat's. Oh god, the cat's attacking the. Oh god, the cat's attacking the haunted doll. It's a sign.
Or maybe this is why Buttons wanted rid of the
Oh,
cats.
it's all making sense now.
That's
Oh.
it. It's all
The
linking up.
savages.
What are you doing? What are you? Anyway, I'm getting distracted by the cat. But yeah, no, great investigation. Where would we rank it?
I would say for this one, I
Keeping
think
tabs on the cat.
CB. I would say.
Yeah.
C,
I'd go
yeah.
B.
I'd say
Yeah.
B. I'd say it's not quite as good as the first
Yeah.
visit, even though I would say there was more evidence in this one compared to the first time.
Yeah.
I just think
There wasn't the
overall,
fear with it because we didn't spot it until after.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if we saw that when we was there, I think it would be higher on the list.
If you'd seen that one the other, I don't think you'd have gone in.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been a video because we would have just
to
gone
be
home.
fair, but I feel like with the fact that I can't really remember much about it, and I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Do you know
good
what I
going.
mean?
Yeah. No, I get you.
Like
I
I
would.
can remember everything from the haunted asylum to a T because
Yeah.
it's just so powerful in my head. I could pretty much remember what I was wearing, what perfume I was wearing. But this video, I can't even remember what evidence we caught, so it can't be that
Yeah,
high.
I think we got the torch, and I can't. Did we even do?
I remember there was like
No.
a blind that was blowing, but then we literally went there and it was just the window
Yeah.
was open.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ooh.
I would
Yeah.
personally say C.
Slap it in S tier.
We put it in C, yeah. Okay.
Slap it in S. No,
I'd,
yeah,
I'd,
C.
I'd, I'd put it in B, but what do you guys think? So you got C,
I'd go
C,
B.
I'd go B.
Lozzie?
I was gonna say C, but
C.
that's 3 Bs and 2 Cs.
That's it. Slap it in B then.
Yeah.
I think for
Okay.
the figure alone, it's
Yeah.
got to be better than
Yeah.
the paper
That's
mill.
what's
And
got
the
me on sort of the
location is
middle, I think.
fantastic.
The
Yeah.
location is amazing.
Yeah. Right. Well, fuck me. Okay. This started many things. I mean, this introduced me to my good friend Tom, because he put this in on his channel. Farmhouse. So this is the apparition. first of all, R.I.P. to the location. Very sad.
Yeah.
Fantastic location. Jesus, drop the drum. Well, I'm gonna stop Switzerland a drumstick. It's just a fantastic investigation. We had so many pieces of equipment. This was where it really ramped up, actually, thinking about it, equipment wise. We had the incredible Ouija board with Henry, with the
Yeah.
EMF,
Yes, to be
the
fair,
EMF
yeah.
going off at the same time. Maya, you said about the EMF, the best EMF being in the haunted asylum. I think this is quite possibly as good as in this
Yeah.
investigation.
I would say, because you had double barrel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fucking
Yeah.
nuts. We had, obviously it didn't go off. I know we did use it in the RF base and it didn't go off. The bear has never gone off. But we had the bear there in the cot with the
Yeah, that was
night
cool.
vision camera on it.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we? I mean, it was
The
just
apparition is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Mm.
yeah,
Because the thing with the RAF base, the figure that we saw could be human, could be not. Could be a
Yeah.
spirit. But there's no question that if what we've caught in that still is an apparition, is something that is a ghost. And in my mind, I can clearly see a blonde woman. Like, there's no question about it.
it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
For sure.
So we have actual evidence of a ghost on camera. What more
Yeah.
could you ask for, really? We had a strong Ouija
It's-
board session. The building was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Personally, for me,
I
that
laid on the floor.
Yeah.
That was
that
cool.
was the most uncomfortable I felt in an abandoned place up
Yeah.
to this point.
To this point, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like the RAF base was creepy being in, but I didn't feel like creeped out in there. I didn't really feel creeped out in the asylum until like things started kicking off. But straight away going into that place, because it's very
shit.
it's very small, and it's
Yeah.
sort of like, do you know what I mean? It's very tight corners, and you really have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and there was some some really fucking cool shit as well. Like, obviously you had the family history there, and what was the fucking daughter's name? Was it
Moira.
Moira?
Moira.
Yeah, and then just found that like straw hat with her name
Yeah.
stitched into the inside and stuff like that, and like newspapers from the 70s and like all sorts
Yeah.
of stuff. It's just such
It's
a
a
cool
time
location.
capsule in there.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was a fucking
Really
time
cool.
capsule.
yeah,
Like the bike and like all of the like old pill bottles and things that were in the kitchen. It's just really
Yeah.
cool.
Jars
Yeah.
still on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that's
But
crazy.
like,
It's just sick. It's just
yeah.
so weird to walk into someone's house. That was a house in the 70s that had a family in it, and it's just
Yeah.
so weird. And there are some theories about what happened to the family. I don't know if they're rumors or if they are true, but they're not very nice stories. So it makes the
Yeah.
building very creepy.
and now it's been burnt down. So, like, I think we were talking about it in the last episode. It also adds to it as well, because it's like we have documented that building twice.
Yeah.
And that can never be documented again. Obviously, I know other people have been there, other people have done it. I'm not saying that, but the fact that we have done it and it's there on record now.
Yeah, we're part
I
of
know that.
building's history.
Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
when I went to scope it out for a third and final time and found it burnt down. Oh no, I went there because we were told it was burnt down, weren't we?
Yeah.
When I went and scoped that out, and that farmer came over and he basically blamed me because people like me are the reason it's burnt down. It's like, well, okay, mate, but also people like me are the reason that it's fucking documented on the internet. So,
But it's
but if
absolutely
you
not
are
people
out
like
there,
us.
no, of course it's not.
Drunk teenagers that have found
Yeah.
it because it's Norwich isn't a very big city. People find out about these locations in and around that area. There's like 10 different abandoned buildings. Someone found it. A bunch of drunk kids from the pub that's round the corner have ended up there.
Only
Set it
takes
on
one
fire.
person. Only takes one person to find
Yeah.
it for 40 people to go to it.
Exactly. It's not
Know what I
hard to
mean?
find. It's not hidden at all.
No.
It's literally on a main road pretty much. And
Yeah.
a couple of months ago the absolutely fantastic asylum in Norwich has also been burned down, which is just it's awful. But people
Yeah.
do horrible shit like that to abandoned buildings because they think it's funny. But it's
Yeah.
not people like us who do
No.
the ghost hunting or the abandoned exploring. we're the people that respect these buildings, so don't
Yeah.
tarnish our name because a bunch of drunk
Yeah.
teenagers decided to
Not
set them
once.
on
Yeah,
fire.
I
Not
did. I
once.
did shut him down big
Yeah,
time.
for
Yeah.
sure. Not
I
once
did
have
shut
we
him down
ever
big
been
time.
into one of these buildings and destroyed anything.
No.
Anything.
Literally anything. Not even knocked a chair over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
know?
like
exactly.
the only damage that has ever been done is where we've gone to like step on a fucking floorboard
And it's gone through, yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
gone through because it's rotten. That's like
But the
literally
thing
that's
is,
literally it.
it's like we don't even take anything. You know, we walk into
No.
these really like the farmhouse, the amount of cool shit that was there, all these like
Yeah.
really old newspapers and books and DVDs and things like that. We leave videotapes, not DVDs. We leave them there, and
Mm.
we won't even damage the building to get in. If there is not an open window that we can fit through without damaging it, we do not go in the building. You know, there's people that
Yeah.
do break in, but that's no longer legally entering the building. So we follow the law in every way, and we
Yeah.
don't damage the building in any way. And I think that that is what the majority of, you know, this group of people do. But it's just a few that fuck it up for everyone.
Yeah, of course. Which
Which
is
is a
always
shame.
the case.
Yeah.
Always the
That's it.
case. Fuck me, if anything we do is going to be an S tier, it's got to be this one, isn't it?
I would
Oh, yeah.
say so.
It's got to
Yeah.
be.
You know, my only regret, not regret, my only, you know, we went back there if it's for number 2 at night and tried to debunk it. Obviously, I was really happy to have you there, Loz, as the skeptic as well. Obviously, the idea behind the third investigation would have been to go back during the day, just to look at that wardrobe one more time, like in the full daytime. Even though when we went there the first time, it wasn't full daytime at all.
It's like
But yeah,
dusk, wasn't it?
so we
Right.
can never truly rule that out. But still, you know, I mean, that I still stand by. If you look at that apparition, it wasn't us. It does not look like a fucking door frame. It literally looks like a woman in a white dress with like a fucking like some sort of, I don't know, like black overalls or some
Yeah.
shit on.
Which
Like
is a very
it's just
common type of dress
yeah,
back in those days, where you have the white long
which is
sleeve
just yeah, it's
and the
just
black over,
I
like
can't
almost
I
like a maid's dress or something.
yeah, you
Yeah.
just can't convince me that's a fucking door frame. You know,
It's absolutely not. It's
yeah,
absolutely not.
yeah.
Don't be
But
like,
this is what's frustrating is if we'd have gone back during the day and filmed that and proved that it wasn't that either, then it's like, well, then
Yeah.
what the fuck could that have been? It's not
Yeah.
a torch. It's not the night. It's not the day. It's not the dusk. It's like, you know, so what? Yeah, anyway. So that's just a shame, but it is what it is.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Angel Ram in. Holy shit. Big, huge. First time meeting Scott. Scott's
Yeah.
debut.
Scott's debut.
Debut.
So we're
Actual
taking an
debut
hour
this
and
time.
7 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott's debut. The biggest production that I've ever personally undertaken. Yeah, the first like proper investigation where I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. Just like, you know, it was just massive. It was
It
just
was
the
This
our
was
biggest
the
thing
most
we'd ever done.
equipment, wasn't it? This is our
Yeah.
first one with
Yeah,
all the loads
most
of equipment.
individual investigations and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
First
this is
Estes
our
methods.
first. This is our
First
first
Estes.
purchased location, rented out
Yeah.
location,
Yeah.
Yep.
and the
And
security
best evidence.
I mean, like you can see from the subsequent investigations that we clearly enjoyed the security of paying for a location because
Yeah.
the difference that it makes
Yeah, this
to
set a
your own
precedent. Yeah.
You can
set
focus
sanity.
on investigating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just exclusively focusing on investigating. Like you will notice the difference in the quantity of experiments that we do in abandoned locations versus paid locations. There's no comparison.
No.
But it's just nice. It's also nice having a break room, you know, a little sanctuary area within the building. But I guess that you could argue that sometimes does take away from the fear a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's nice. I wouldn't change that.
Yeah. It was the hottest day of the year, hottest day I've ever experienced in this country, 41 degrees. Yeah, but yeah, brilliant investigation. Obviously got the mirror thing, which we've talked about to fucking death on this
1 million.
podcast on the
Even
channel.
I'm bored of hearing about it.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. So
Yeah. The mirror was fucking cool.
Yeah, Bailey
Mhm.
saw about 18 apparitions.
Yeah. I reckon I
We
was
saw one
fucking
thing emerging from the
best.
mirror. He saw a bald guy fucking from outside looking
Oh,
in.
I just had a thought.
What?
What if I saw a time slip, and the bald man I saw was
Was
me on
you.
the top floor on the ancient ram in 2.
Oh my god.
Bosh. I actually saw into the future.
That's fucking
I mean, that's
brilliant.
pretty gangster.
Yeah, I am
That's
the
pretty
ghost.
cool. That's
So
it.
there was time slipping in this video as well.
And then the little fucking shadow I saw was actually Scott demonstrating what I saw the first time.
Oh my god. It's a paradox,
Oh.
but it works.
I like it.
That's
Oh my
mad.
god.
Yeah,
That's
the
so
ancient
yeah.
ramen is the center of the universe. Confirmed.
That's it. But yeah, people absolutely loved this video.
Yeah, so did I.
It
Yeah.
was really well received. It didn't go smoothly. Like I borrowed a camera from Atma, changed some of the settings, which fucked it completely.
Why did we do
So I had to fucking, the reason that the majority of this video is in black and white is because the only way to get around the glaring fucking framing issues was to make it more like Blair Witch-esque.
Yeah. The
Um
fury that you experienced the day
I
that
was
you checked that
devastated.
footage,
I was
it was
fucking devastated.
awful.
Why did we fucking
Yeah. It's completely
change
my
what
fault.
weren't broken?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
You know what I
On
mean?
the,
Yeah.
you know, on the day that we're filming in the most haunted place in the country, our first rented out location, why was it
Why
decided
are
that
we taking
today was the
risks?
day
Yeah.
to try
Let's
a
take
new
risks.
camera and a new setting?
Let's fuck with some settings now.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just guess and let's not check
And
halfway
I
through.
can't,
like,
I
well,
can't
well,
even
yeah,
remember
yeah.
what we changed. I can't even remember what we changed, but we changed something.
I
was
think
the
we
frame
changed
rate
it to
or
try
something?
and match the frame rate of your other camera.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So
and
we
it
did
just fucked
that,
it.
but I don't think we changed it correctly.
Yeah, and it just fucked it
I guess
completely.
that's
It
Yeah.
also has one of my fucking like favorite moments ever that I've filmed, which is from that thumbnail there with me, where like obviously the thing with Scott happened, and that just like really fucked me up for a bit. Obviously, it fucked Scott up more, but it fucked me up for a bit. I just set up the camera because I was going to do a little bit of like talking to the camera, which I think I did for a little bit, and then you guys were like discussing in the background what was happening, and I was kind of like getting a bit emotional and like scared, if you like, and like tearing up. And I just did a fucking slow zoom on that shot while you guys are discussing what's going on.
It's
And
an
it's just
absolute
fucking,
cinematic
it's such a
masterpiece.
fucking cool shot.
Yeah, the way
Such
that
a
we're
cool
in
shot.
the background piecing everything together, you know,
Yeah.
tying
Yeah.
Because
everything together, and you're
we
just
didn't even know you were
breaking
filming.
down. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly, that scene is absolutely unreal.
Yeah, because I'd already come to the conclusion of like, you know, because I thought I heard your voice, didn't I think. And I'd already come to the conclusion that, you know, you're told that like demons can mimic people, and then you're like all discussing it, and then you come to that conclusion, and
Yeah,
I sort of like nod, and I think I say it at the same time as you because I know what you're about to say or something
yeah.
like that.
Because
And yeah, it's just really
that is
cool.
filmed literally as we come out of the building. Like you
Yeah.
sit down and we're still all pacing about. So
Yeah.
what, we didn't know that you were filming, and two, you hadn't had time to pass over that realization to us.
Yeah, no.
You were reacting to the realization in live time while we all came to that same realization,
Yeah.
which is nuts.
Because it's really important to know, like, I think the best way to describe my skepticism is to watch the first Darren Woods video.
Mm,
Like I did used to think like, you know, these people are fucking idiots. I'll just be completely honest, you know. And then that night with the fucking Estes and shit, with the mirror and everything, I was just like processing almost like ego death, where it's like, oh shit, all these things that I thought were stupid might actually be real, or there might be something to this, and I am wrong. And like I am an atheist that doesn't believe in in life after death or anything like that, or and then all of a sudden it's like, are we being given proof?
Literally
know?
a switch flipped.
Yeah,
Literally,
and that's what you're watching in real time in that
and that
moment
was before the mirror.
before the mirror. That bit, yeah,
yeah.
That's insane. Like, I
Yeah.
know we've talked the mirror to death, but now that we have been back to the RAM and
Yeah.
debunked it and proven
No,
categorically,
yeah,
And not debunked
failed
it.
to debunk it.
oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, failed to debunk it.
Yeah.
We've proven categorically that no one could have done that, without us seeing it happen or hearing it happen.
Yeah.
And there is no hiding places within that
Yeah.
building for
Yeah.
any human to hang about and sneak about throughout the night, because
Yeah.
the only place that they could go is locked from the outside. That's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is insane. There was demon written on the mirror, and something not human wiped it off.
Yeah. I love that the remainder of what was left, like, because
Yeah.
It's still there.
it's still there.
Unreal.
Nuts.
I feel like that is a piece of us in the history of that building, and
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, until I wrote hello over it.
Yeah,
So,
well,
And there's still a bit of us there.
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You can still see the
yeah.
you can still see the end of it at the top.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see that
I
like
don't know
half
if I
of
want
the
to
Yeah,
ocean.
yeah.
in
You
that
still see
building.
the Owen.
Yeah. But yeah, nature rabbit. What? It's not even worth discussing. It's literally it's one of the best.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
possibly the best
Yeah.
that we've done. But for me, there is a potential contender. But we'll
Yo.
get to that. Right. Okay. So next one. This one's a really interesting one. 30 East Drive. One of my favorite thumbnails.
I've
would
got a
say.
confession for this one. I have
What's
no
that?
memory of it.
What, 30 East
That doesn't
Drive?
surprise
I
me.
was delirious the entire night. I have
I mean,
no
you
memory of
were.
this investigation other
That's a
than
shame.
the video.
That's a shame though,
In
because it
fact,
was a
the last thing
fantastic
I remember is
investigation.
asking to be pushed down the stairs, and from
Yeah.
there,
Push
nothing.
me.
Yeah. So let's dive into that, because obviously, I feel like that was a reaction to people calling you a scaredy pants in the first one.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel, Scott?
What, the being called that in the first one?
Being called a scaredy pants?
I mean, I didn't mind it. It was
Oh, good.
accurate.
Well, there's a lot going on, like,
Yeah.
you know, and that's actually something that seems to be a theme with the Estes method, is we hear Scott a lot.
Yeah.
Both my name and me talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is just bizarre.
And we
really
actually
bizarre.
hear
And I
it
hope one day,
at this video.
Out
yeah,
loud.
we hear it out loud.
Out loud. Yeah.
I just really hope that one day we get like an answer to that.
Yeah.
So whatever the fuck that's all about. But yeah, Ancient Ramin, 30 East Drive's really good investigation. Really cool location.
Yeah.
It's like a time capsule in itself, back to like the fucking 70s. It's just like stood still. Brilliant location. Does smell like a cigarette though.
Yeah. But
Didn't when we went in though.
it didn't. And there
It
was a
couple
fag
of hours
butt in there.
in. Yeah.
That, and we weren't smoking those type of cigarettes, so where that came from we will never know. But the reason that the house smells like cigarettes is because the outside location is so dangerous that they make you smoke inside so that you don't die outside. After the sun goes down, you don't go out in Pontefract. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, which is crazy. Which is absolutely crazy. Very, very, very scary location. Really cool. Obviously, you got the door, which the door, you could argue, is a warped door frame, but I really do genuinely draw the line here. I'll give you like, I think it's like 4 times it happens on camera. I'll give you 3 of the 4 when that door opens. I'll give you 3 of the 4 that's a warped door frame. But when when Mara and Bailey go through to the bathroom and the door opens again, listen, because it's not the same sound. It's not a door being like pushed through force against wood. You can literally hear the door handle do like the squeak thing when it goes down and it's pushed open. It is a completely different sound.
Yeah.
So that one is just fucking weird.
I mean, there's the chair in 30 East Drive.
Yeah, that's nuts.
The chair that weirdly moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because timeline wise, nobody went upstairs in between those 2 videos. Because I can't remember because we haven't discussed this for so long, but isn't the first spot of the chair when I go up there by myself? And then the second spot of the chair is when me and Bailey then come upstairs together.
Yeah.
And we just pan past the room.
Yeah.
So you guys, all 3 of you were asleep downstairs when I did my solo.
Yeah.
And then I come downstairs, Bailey wakes up. we
Yeah.
do
Say
the
asleep,
stuff.
I just had my eyes closed. The other boys were definitely asleep.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
was
guys would
out.
sound though for hours.
Yeah, I was gone.
Then I came downstairs. Bailey then joins me, and we do some stuff in the coal shed. And
Yeah.
then we catch that really weird thing where
Double
Bailey's voice
voice.
repeats twice.
Yeah, which that is, I don't get that.
Yeah, so
And that
weird.
wasn't just on. Was that was it just on that? I was trying
No,
to think what
night
it
vision
was.
camera and
And
the
the
Yeah,
Zoom.
it was on
and
all
Go
of them,
XR.
wasn't it? Was it on all of them? Or was it on
yeah,
one?
Yeah.
I'm
no,
sure-
both.
was on
yeah,
both.
both on the camera and the Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is nuts. Which is nuts.
And
So
then we
whatever
go.
it was genuinely recorded. That's
It
the
was
Yeah.
out
freaky thing
loud,
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it wasn't a glitch.
Oh,
No.
that's
It
it. Yeah, so it
happened.
couldn't have been an electrical thing. Yeah,
No,
because
Yeah.
it was on
had
two
to
different
be
devices.
because it's on two
Yeah.
devices.
Yeah,
It's
and
so
that's
weird.
fucked. Yeah.
And then we went through back to the living room where you guys were still sleeping, woke you up, showed
Jordan's
you the
like,
audio, and you're
"Oh."
like, wow.
That's really cool.
Oh.
Scott's
And then
just
straight back
like,
to sleep.
I was-
Scott, I don't even think
yeah.
you woke up.
I pointed at you at one point because I remember a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
mentioned
I
that in
just
the
walk
comments.
around the. Yeah, that's when I come downstairs after my solo. You're just there pointing at me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going
Don't
on?
remember that. No memory.
Yeah.
At one point, Bailey gets breathed on.
Yes.
yes.
In the
and
coal
then I
shed.
said, it's cold here, and you're like, oh my god, it is. It was
Yeah, I
fucking
reached forward,
genuinely
yeah.
cold. Yeah.
If only
Yeah.
we had a fucking thermal camera. Oh wait, we fucking did, dickheads. How the fuck do you not think
It's
It's
cold
like I
there.
was thinking. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's Ancient Ramen 2, which will be for the next episode, or the next episode of the tier list podcast. But when I'm doing my Estes and I say like something like we've all gone outside or something like that,
Yeah.
we should have went outside and continued the Estes method outside. I know it was freezing, but we should have gone outside.
I think it was
Stuff
warmer
like
outside
that.
than it was inside.
Huh?
I think it was warmer outside than it was
Yeah,
inside.
that's
for
true.
that.
That's true. But like shit like that, I feel like maybe as like a constructive criticism of us to improve, I think we should maybe be more reactionary on certain
Yeah,
things.
listen to what's being sold
As
to
much
us.
as I don't want to, the amount of times it has said go upstairs or go
Yeah,
up
or above.
in
Yeah.
the RAM above
Yeah.
where the
Like,
attic
okay,
is.
we'll move to where you've just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's a
Yeah.
valid criticism. In the moment, I don't want to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But,
yeah, no, but
yeah,
and like we had
we
attic
need
and
to.
stuff in this one, didn't we? Or
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
But we did
whatever.
listen to that
Yeah,
in the
we
end.
did listen to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the chair moving.
Your Estes was ridiculous as well, Ma, I remember in this one.
Oh yeah, when I
Yeah.
was like, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Eh.
Should we go
That's
check
that's
outside?
when I got up to go check outside because it told us to look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
just
we
happened.
went.
both,
You
we
go.
both did, Scott. We both
Well,
did.
no, I think you'll find Maya said I wouldn't, then I made you get up because I wasn't going
Yeah.
on my own.
Yeah,
you
and then I
go-
walked into a room and you fucked off to the other room and you were the one with the torch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you
This was a-
go.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Oh, you also had that dream of us all dying in different rooms.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh.
that did happen.
What
Where's-
happens to me and what happens to everyone?
I can't remember. It was several years ago. Well,
Yeah.
a year ago,
Uh,
year and a half, ages ago.
Yeah.
Checked out the neighbourhood.
S
Yeah.
tier. S
Agreed.
tier.
Asbestos. What more do you want?
100%, mate.
Yeah,
Just because
agreed.
of that quote, we could have got no evidence whatsoever in that investigation. Nothing happened. No, not even the spookiness. But Scott's head through the curtains, checking out the neighbourhood, is S tier
Yeah.
every day of the week.
Plus the bit where Scott's sitting on the chair with the pillow on his lap in the living room. What does he say? It's
Oh,
so
no, I can't remember
fucking
what he
funny.
said.
Yeah.
There- There's a few bits in that because I'm
You
so
look so
delirious.
fragile.
I put my arm around the doll at one point.
Oh yeah, that's the first time we took a
When
$100
you
as
get
well.
on the sofa, you're like,
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I put that little romantic scene in
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
And there
Oh,
was the
we're
point
often-
where we were in the bathroom upstairs and we just left. And I was like, someone died in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've just remembered what you say on the chair. You were like talking to the ghost, and you go, "Come on in." And then just, like,
Yeah.
shake your head.
Yeah, like I didn't mean it like that. Yeah.
Oh, like, what have I just
Yeah.
said?
So right, so what are we saying then?
S.
30
S.
Drive. I
S.
think A, but I'll go with the majority, obviously.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
it's,
I would say if you was awake for more of it,
Yeah,
would
you
put
were
it S.
asleep.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Scott's gonna say D because he weren't there. I had no idea of it.
No, I'm thinking S.
S.
Yeah,
Lozzie, what do you
S.
think?
It's gonna go an S, and I think
D.
just because I weren't there. No, A. I would put it in A personally, but we've got more
Yeah.
S's. So.
Okay, cool.
Checking out the neighborhood.
Right. Okay, so Lozzie returns. And I think this is the first time that you met Scott, wasn't it, Loz?
Yeah, it was. It was the first time
Yeah,
I met Scott.
and vice versa, obviously. So, yeah, this is a place that I've pretty much since we started doing investigations, I thought I've got to get up the Roman ruins, like fucking, and I weren't expecting much. And fuck me, we got ghosts, we got cryptids, we got aliens, we got the fucking lot. It was amazing. I thought this was a fucking great investigation. It was so fucking.
This is one of the ones I really want to go back to.
Yeah.
Out of the
Do
lot, I think this is probably my favourite that I want to go back to.
Yeah. Really? What makes you say that?
I don't know. There was just something about it.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what it was that just had that sort of aura to it that makes me
Well,
want to return.
the thing is, there's more to it as well that we can investigate because apparently, so you go down the hill, down to the dock, and then across to over, and you keep walking, and there's a pub called Lozzie the Fisherman's. Inn?
I think this
Something like that. Anyway, the staff and patrons have reported so many times seeing the ghost of a Victorian woman, but you only ever see her from like the waist up, because obviously back then the ground was lower, because obviously ground just gets built on and built on and built on. So you just see this like half of this like fucking ghost just roaming around. So there's more hauntings to those Broads. I mean, there's so much hauntings on the Broads, but even just in that location, it's like a fucking 2-minute walk down. So there's more that we can investigate there as well. And outside the pub, there's a load of benches. So if we went there at night when the pub was closed, we could use the benches for like Estes methods and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, I think it would definitely be worth a revisit for sure. But yeah, it's just really good. Like obviously we got the screech, which obviously that was a fucking like barn owl or something, but it was scary. You know, it was a
I will just
legitimate.
have to say though, that was during my. I'm pretty sure I was doing the Estes method at that point.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, I'd known Scott for about 10
Oh, yeah.
minutes, right? And I think I got my eyes closed. I'm listening, and you obviously, I can feel the light go off my face, and then I feel someone rummaging through my pockets. It's Scott. He's trying to get a torch.
Trying to get a torch.
Let's go. Okay, right. 10 minutes, and he's rummaging.
Buy me a drink first, Scott.
Yeah.
Fucking
I
hell.
didn't have time to try and like pull you out of the Estes and explain what was happening.
It's like,
I knew
okay,
you had a super powerful torch in one of your pockets, and I was going to find it.
Jesus.
you found it, son.
You found it.
But,
I
that
have a torch.
was the first experience of Scott, putting his hands on me.
Yeah.
First
Didn't
of many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Scott, there was something about your Estes, wasn't there? What happened?
Yes.
Didn't you fall over or nearly fall
Yeah,
over? Or...
yeah.
I felt like I was twisting.
That's it.
Which
Yeah,
is something
yeah.
I've
You were
not
like,
felt since
yeah,
and hadn't felt before.
really
I was
weird.
stood still, completely stationary, and I just felt like my lower half of my body was turning.
Yeah.
Don't
Really
know what it
weird.
was. Don't know why.
To be
Yeah.
fair, in all of our Estises, something weird happened. Like, because in your
Yeah, what
Estes, Jordan, we just fucked that off and started filming some sort of plane.
Yeah.
We thought it was a UFO. It was like, yeah, fuck this shit. What's that?
Yeah, literally.
Jordan's just saying stuff in the background. You're like fucking zooming right in across the
Stop
Yeah.
saying stuff.
across
We're
the
trying to
broad.
zoom on the plane.
Jordan.
Yeah.
shh.
But to
And
be
then-
fair to you, I did say it in the video, like, to be fair to you, if you carried on filming the Estes and you thought there was a UFO and it turned out to be a UFO and you didn't film it, I'd be fucking livid. So you did the right thing. But
So,
yeah.
And then that's when the Estes counted down with us as
Oh,
you
yeah,
were.
that's right. Yeah. 10, 9, yeah. And it started
It
counting
did
down
like,
with
I
it.
think it did like 3 or 4 numbers in sync with what we
Yeah,
said.
really weird. Really weird. But yeah,
I just
really
had
cool.
a brilliant thought. Like, imagine if it was a UFO and it's the most compelling UFO evidence, and it gets broadcast worldwide. Look at this fucking UFO, and it's got Jordan saying, "Help." Behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, it just said
What's going on
back.
in the background.
She's getting dragged away.
Yeah, like you just you're filming this UFO, and like you say, it's worldwide news,
Yeah.
and there's just me like, it just said Scott, and
Local
everyone's like,
man in
"What did he
small
say?"
village finds UFO. It just says Scott.
You
watermark
shut the
our
fuck
footage, I
up!
like
It's trying
it.
to fucking film this.
Yeah, but yeah, I
That'd be
mean,
great.
but yeah, this one was really fun. I would say, I think we could go back and do some more in-depth stuff. Obviously,
Yeah.
I would. Oh, where would you guys put this one? Loz.
I mean, got to big up my hometown. I'll put an A.
Nice.
I did find it enjoyable.
Yeah,
Personally.
it was fun. Scott.
I'd say top of B, bottom of A. So I think bottom of A would probably be where I'd put it.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what I said with the RAF base. Bailey, where would you put this?
I would say, yeah, A. I'd be happy with A.
Where would you put it?
B
Just
or A?
We're just gonna do.
See, I would say B.
Yeah, I would also say B. I just didn't want to be the only one that said it.
Sorry, Loz.
B
No,
for
it's
Borough
not.
Castle. Fuck it.
B for
I
Borough
went,
Castle.
I went a B or A, so I'm happy with top of B.
Yeah, top of B.
Top of B. Yeah. Okay.
I think realistically, it's sort of on level with the chapel. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm basing it off. Is what
Yeah,
else is in
it's
B.
not as good as the RAF base, but it is
Yeah.
chapel
It is
worthy.
really good. Obviously, like we
Yeah.
said already, every single one of these videos, without tooting our own horn too much, they are all really, really good. But I think based on evidence and stuff,
I mean, that was as well. That was almost a mini investigation
yeah,
compared to
exactly.
the others.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it was Halloween Eve, I think.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it
that
looked
one went
like
out
a
on
party.
Halloween.
Yeah, I think we filmed it on Halloween Eve though.
Yeah.
Oh,
or a couple of days.
was
why
before.
did I
the
think?
party.
Why did I think I put it out on Halloween?
You might have done. It was around the time we had a Halloween party.
Oh, because you were there the day before, weren't you?
I was there for the
Yeah.
Halloween party, and while I was
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
we did this.
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, well, speaking of mini investigations, so we have Cold Christmas. This is a really interesting one. So, this one was, well, basically the audio was fucked. So I had to gut it, basically down to a graveyard walk around.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, it did have a funny bit. I accidentally dressed up like I was on I'm a Celebrity, and I didn't even realize until I was there.
Kelly just went, John, you do realise you dress like I'm a celeb, don't you?
It was literally the beauty was it was just completely unintentional
Oh, that
until it
makes
was
it even
said,
more
and I
of a
was
Christmas special as well.
yeah. But obviously, so tell the history of this place, Bailey, for the people.
So,
that don't know.
I believe off the top of my head, I believe it's like there's something around Christmas time. There was like it was really cold, and there was like a group of like women and children that were like frozen, and they like died in the cold around the around like where the church is. I believe that's what the history is off the top of my head. But it's also the churches are built on a certain built to a certain facing a certain way. I can't remember if it's north to east or east to west. North to south or east to west. Sorry, I can't remember which one the right way is, but this one's on the opposite one.
Yeah, so it's
this one's built backwards, so they say it's more of like a devil worshipping church. Because I think they close it down at Halloween, like please lock off the road and that because they've had so many like Satanists go down there and shit.
Jesus. And also the gravestones glow in the dark.
They do, yeah. We've been there. I've been there a few times, and they kind of glow like a strange sort of little greeny sort of like how you look at the haunted asylum thumbnail. It's like that
Haunted
kind of
Asylum.
green.
Yeah.
The haunted asylum thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sort of like that sort of green through the fog. It's really strange.
Nice. So obviously we went there, and first of all the bit that we tried to get into was sealed.
Proper fucking sealed.
we did a few bits, and we did like EMFs and stuff. But the audio was fucked.
Yeah.
And so, but then the audio was okay for the last bit.
Yeah.
I still have all of the footage. It's just, I mean, I say the audio is fucked. It was like in the background, which obviously is a bit jarring.
Annoying.
So in the end, I did a walk around, which was fucking scary because it soon dawns on you. Well, I'm walking around a graveyard by myself. But it was it didn't, do you know what I mean? It was like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. The
Yeah.
audio went wrong. The
Couldn't get
building
in.
was sealed.
Yeah.
It started to rain as well.
It started
Yeah.
to rain. But then
Which is-
afterwards we should have filmed that actually. We went to that fucking hill where you go up backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Handbrake
really
Hill,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was cool. But
It's a D.
as
It's a D,
investigations go, it has to be a D.
It's a D. We all know
Unfortunately.
it's a D.
But do you think that's as a team, knowing that the building is sealed,
Mhm.
do you think there's grounds to go back
Yeah.
with more equipment?
Yeah.
I would say so.
I think initially when
To be
we
fair,
went
if we could
down
make
there,
a fucking hotel room work.
I think
We
we
can
should
make-
go back in the summer because when I went in the summer was when the stones were glowing.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know if it's like a time of year thing. I don't know, but that's when I've
Heat-based,
seen
maybe.
it sort of like Augusty sort of time.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
I think it's one of those places just from, that was a very short bit and it's entertaining. It's still enough happens that you're like, this is still good.
Yeah.
So I think if we go back and do something full there,
Yeah. And also, like, because I have this thing about graveyards, I'm not too sure, like, but this is obviously it's something a little bit different. Like you say, it's built the wrong way. It's not. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there are paranormal investigators. They literally walk into fucking cemeteries and then just film, and then most of them dress up little kids as ghosts and have them fucking running around. But like, there's something about
did you see it?
graveyards
I
and
think-
stuff. I always think.
I think if you're
Are we
not
crossing a
going,
line here?
I think if you're not going into an active graveyard, because
Yeah.
this one is very old and it clearly isn't accessed anymore. People don't go visit these anymore, and you're not sitting on top of graves doing Ouija boards on
Yeah.
the headstones. I think it's fine. Like the
Yeah.
church
Yeah.
or the I think it's a church or whatever it is that's
Yeah.
slightly it is far enough away for it not to be disrespectful. And I think as long as you're not actually doing anything on the graves and you're not trying to interact with the people that are buried there necessarily, I think it's
Well,
not disrespectful.
If you're not
I think
calling them out by name, like
Yeah.
if you're not
Yeah.
reading the headstones and be like,
Yeah.
Jill?
We've got Scott at the
Yeah.
battle of reading one. This one's called Stephen. What? Stephen. Right. Do we have a Stephen here?
No, but we've
Yeah.
got a Jill coming through. Is there a Jill, Scott?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Just
Gravestone
sort of
bingo.
running. I'm pretty sure I saw one over here. Just sort of running to the other side. Yeah, Jill.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
if
that's
you
a
went
bit
to
disrespectful.
maybe we
like
should
suppose.
do that. That'd be a good video.
That would be quite funny.
Gravestone
Death
bingo.
is not funny. Jeez, yeah, it's battleships, but with fucking. She was B4, mate. B4. But yeah, fucking no. Yeah, I'd like to go back. I think that'd be cool.
You never know. The door might have been caved in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
that's the
I
thing
mean,
with
it
the
was
abandoned
like 12
location.
inches thick,
Yeah, it
bolted
was
on with
fucking
like,
yeah.
literally fucking proper like ship rivets, mate, all the way out the side of it. It was gnarly.
Yeah, but yeah, really cool location though. And
It is a
to be
spooky place.
fair, as like it was up there though for like my own personal fear levels of things that I've done. Obviously, we all know what will win that, the Maid's Head by a fucking country mile. But with regards to in general across all the investigations, that solo walk around was one of the scariest things I've ever done. Definitely. So with that, if that was part of a full investigation that at that location, and we could have got inside, I think it would have been fucking, like what? Yeah. But obviously, with the audio and not being able to get inside, yeah, unfortunately, it sits in D.
That's
But
very
fuck,
much
I've
making the
just
most out of a
realised.
bad situation.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to just like scrap the whole thing. I didn't want to do that, at all. But yeah, it is what it is. But like I say, I think we can go back and do it more justice. I do.
Yeah.
I do. But yeah, okay, right. So we're gonna leave it there because we're nearly 2 hours in.
You did have a segment you wanted to do.
Oh, we're not. It's not over yet. Thank you,
Well
Scott. It's
done,
literally-
Scott.
So become a patron, and you can take part in question of the pod. Okay, so I'm going to pick one at random. Well, no, I'm not going to pick one at random. But I'm going to pick one that takes my eye. Okay, and just because I don't pick you this time doesn't mean I won't pick you next time. All right. I'm going to kind of go for a question that maybe we haven't answered before. Okay, this is quite intense. I haven't read it in full, so this could go south. But we're going to go for it. Right. David Bruce. David Bruce. Thank you for being a patron. Do you think, and I'm just, by the way, before I read this question, let's go with the context of human possession is real, okay? Because I know, Lozzie, you're a skeptic, but in order to answer this question, you're going to have to believe that it is real, all right? Okay. Do you think a possessed person even knows they are possessed? I wonder if they just zone out while the demon takes control and remembers nothing, or are they trapped somewhere inside themselves and their soul is face to face with the demon, controlling them like a puppet, helpless until an outsider notices changes in their behavior? So do you think a possessed person even knows they are possessed? Who wants to take the floor? Scott, you're a trained, qualified demonologist.
Certificate and all.
I do have a certificate. I think it varies. I think depending on the type of possession, I think in some cases the demon seems to have full control. There's very little of the person there. I don't know, obviously, what the one that stands out to me, and it's a weird one because it very much is more than likely a mental health thing, is Annalise Mikel, where
yeah,
I think she was the German girl,
right,
who was possessed by Hitler and some others.
Oh yes, yeah.
The recordings,
yeah,
where she speaks a language she didn't know, which
she speaks Latin for a bit, I think.
Yeah, and there's no way she should know Latin.
I've
so it's
listened
sort of
to
like
those recordings; they are fucking harrowing.
It's sort of like, as far as I can tell, there's none of her there. That is something else talking through her.
Yeah,
and while I want to say that that's more mental health than possession,
of course.
She speaks a language she shouldn't and doesn't know.
Yeah.
Something obviously is influencing that, I would say. But then other cases you get where people are still aware what's happening, but they're sort of being influenced, I would guess, more.
Yeah.
People are, turned to sudden anger or lost and confused out of nowhere. So I think it's very much a sort of, I think it very much can go either way. I don't think there's a definitive answer for it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, as someone who has been possessed, I was trying to think if I could remember being there or not. Certainly couldn't remember where the fuck I was going.
Or where you've been.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I like to think like potentially with possession, like when you have, say, like an intrusive thought, or you just do something and you're like, why the fuck did I just do that? Like I didn't, I like to think that maybe like possession, like a demon takes over your body, and like you're there, you're like, imagine if your body went into like autopilot and you couldn't control what you were doing, you couldn't even speak, but your body was just like doing shit, and all of a sudden you're like your consciousness. So you're fully there, like, what the fuck is what's going? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? But your body's like doing all weird shit. I think that's what possession would be like. I think so. You're like in your
it's happening.
It's happening, but there's nothing that you can do. But then in films like The Exorcist and stuff, like whilst they're possessed, they're burning in hell. So
yeah,
I think I'd rather just be like a passenger in my own body than fucking burning in hell.
That's probably a bit hot. That's sunburn for you. No,
Exactly. Don't like it. Don't like it. What about you guys?
I would say it probably depends on how severe the kind of possession would be. So
Yeah.
obviously, if you just kind of like how you were, kind of someone guiding you through, and you kind of not knowing where it is, or if you're like got Satan himself,
Yeah.
you probably ain't got much say with what's going on if that big boy's in you. You know what I mean?
It's true.
He's not holding your hand, mate. He's dragged you out, thrown you in the bin, and taken over.
I think there's a difference between demonic possession, and just possession. Yeah.
So I think there would be a difference of how severe it was. Not only that, if it was like demonic possession as well, how far along into the possession are you? You know, because obviously they say if you're possessed by a demon, it gets worse the longer it goes on.
Yeah.
So where to the point where it's at the end, you are not present at all. It is just you are talking face to face with a demon with your shell.
Yeah.
So I would say it's probably very dependent on what kind of possession you've got going on. And
that's a good point.
And how depth it was. And obviously at the end of it, like when you're talking straight to a demon, you probably are just burning in hell, trying to get back.
Yeah. Maya?
I assume it's just like how you are when you're sleepwalking. Like, you just aren't anything. It's like it's not like you are anywhere. You just don't have any recollection of what's going on. Because I think when people come out of possessions, they don't have any memory of what they did.
It's not like they recall, do they?
Yeah. So I assume it's like sleepwalking. So you just don't. You're just nowhere.
Yeah. Sort of like Insidious.
Yeah. Perhaps what sleepwalking is possession.
Holy shit.
We have so many breakthroughs. We're having so many breakthroughs here.
Oh no.
That's it.
Apparently, the demon that possesses me overnight likes to make me eat food.
Yeah, it's true.
Oof.
Yeah.
Savage one, that.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking annoying, especially when you're trying to diet and then your sleep demon makes you eat 3 bags of cheese in the middle of the night.
A bag of cheese?
3 bags.
That's it.
Just on a tangent, right? The weirdest combination of food that I've ever sleep at, right? A whole loaf of bread, half a block of garlic butter, half a tube of salt and vinegar Pringles, and a tin of mackerel.
What the fuck?
That was the one I was waiting for because I knew about that one.
I don't like fish.
Of mackerel in your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck did you get mackerel from?
This is when I used to live at home, and my parents had it in the cupboard.
Right. I was gonna say, imagine like you just fucking go downstairs, nibble on some mackerel, go back to bed, and Jordan just rolls over. Fuck you! Brush your fucking teeth.
Yeah, this was before me and Jordan were together. I think I was about 17, to be fair. But I just woke up with the wrappers in bed with me, and I was like, "What the fuck have I done?"
Tin of mackerel in bed with her.
When was the last time you done that?
I do it almost every night.
Yeah.
Almost every night. I just walk downstairs. I made crumpets like last week. Actually cooked crumpets.
Do you know you're doing this?
I have full memory of doing it, but I can't stop myself from doing it. So it's really weird. Like in the moment, I've been interrupted doing it before, and people can tell that I'm definitely asleep. But I can't stop myself from doing it because it mostly happens when I'm really hungry when I go to bed. So like if I'm dieting and things like that, and then my whole diet is destroyed because I'll eat like 10,000 calories in the middle of the night.
Jeez. I must be asleep all the time.
If I'm ever staying at your house and I bump into you while that's happening, I don't know what's happening there.
I don't know if you've I don't know if you've ever seen someone sleepwalk, but it's horrible. Like because they're completely dead behind the eyes, but they are them. It's really weird.
Making
I remember that you start
Highly
running down the
recommend.
stairs, dead behind the eyes.
Lozzie showed me a great sketch called "Sleepwalking Cop" by Shane Gillis. I highly recommend.
It's great.
Watching that is fucking fantastic. But anyway, that's
tangent.
Yeah, mad. Well, there we go. But potentially an insight into possession.
Yeah.
So
Did we
Yeah.
get Lozzie's take on it?
we haven't.
Yeah.
Last stake, Lozzie.
Yes. Well, obviously, I'm having to admit in this scenario that it is.
Yeah.
It happens.
Lozzie's a believer.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
even do it for this one segment.
clip
Just
that.
Clip
bollocks.
I would say, but this is my take on it, right? I think that you are aware of it most of the time because if
You're
I was
making
a
it up.
demon, the last thing I want the person to do that I'm inhabiting is to show signs that I'm inhabiting them. So
Yeah.
if they like start convulsing and everyone's just going like, "That's quite weird," I'd consider myself like my cover's been blown. So I would say that you are aware you're putting up some sort of fight, like frothing at the mouth, or you start swinging
Yeah.
at people. That's not normal behavior. So I would say there is an element of you knowing that something is going down.
So almost like kind of like devil on the shoulder kind of possession, like kind of trying to
Yeah.
steer people into
Yeah.
Go on,
doing
stick another
bad
crumpet
shit.
in the toaster. Go on.
You
You know
know,
you want to.
Go on.
You're
Eat that
hungry,
fucking
Maya.
Go for that
Eat
lure
that third
pack.
bag of cheese, love.
What
Go
do you
for
mean you
that
don't
lure
like
pack.
mackerel? Shut the fuck up. Eat a mackerel, you bitch.
Fuck that utterly batterly shit off. Get a fucking lure pack. Go on, girl.
Get out of the shops.
Yeah.
Make a sandwich out of them. Go on.
I'm terrified that one day I'm gonna eat something that's like not fit.
Come
for
down
human
and
You ever
consumption.
tried to
fucking
drink
full roast
Dettol?
dinner.
You ever tried to drink Dettol?
Yeah.
Ignore that sign on the
It's
bottle.
pine flavour. Nice. Nice.
You like them.
Lavender Zaflora.
Go
That
to
smells
the car. Nibble that strawberry flavoured air freshener you got. It tastes great. Go on. Lay underneath. Get the oil out. It's chocolate chip. Oil change it. Taste it. Keep your eyes open as well. Banter.
Keep your eyes open, man.
Oh, dear. Well, David, thank you for the question. I hope we've answered it for you. That's brilliant. But yeah, okay, so that's going to be the first part of this. Because what we've done strategically is we have left the investigations of 2013. So we'll start with Haprica.
Whoa!
And we'll go from there.
2013.
Just throwback.
Oh, 2023. Sorry. What the fuck did I say 2013?
Jesus.
11 years ago.
Time slip.
Yeah, fucking hell. Right, but before we go, the very last thing I want to do, and I want to do this really quickly, is if someone can have like a pen and paper, I want to tot up how many investigations people have been on. Obviously, I've been on all of them, so I've been on. Have we done 23?
Right, let me get my. I've got my calculator.
Yes.
Right, 1, 2, 3,
Oh
4,
my
5, 6,
God.
7, 8, 9. Sorry, I've lost count.
Yeah,
1,
same.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 2, 3. Yeah, 23. Okay, so I've done
We've done
23.
23.
Right, so Maya, you have done, and I'm not going to count you on the epilepsy hospital because that will, although you were present in the car outside, it was actually me and Bailey doing that one.
Actually, me and Lozzie were in the investigation because you
You
FaceTimed
were,
us.
okay, right. Let's determine right now. Does that count?
No.
Lozzie, do you think it counts?
I'm saying it fucking does.
I'm saying it fucking does. Do you know
We'll
how
give you a
long?
half. We'll give you
That
a
was
half.
like a 7-hour
I know,
round
and
trip.
I appreciate the commitment, but we'll give
Yeah.
you a half. Okay, right. So
I mean,
right.
are we going to include like Scott's train driver when he comes as well? If that's the parameters going on, because it's a long fighting journey.
Don't remember Scott's train driver fucking being on FaceTime.
Right, okay, so Maya. Right, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pause. Now, cold Christmas.
Cold
Yeah, I'll give you
Christmas.
cold Christmas. Although it's just me walking around a graveyard. Oh, I'll give you cold Christmas. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and a half.
18 and a half.
18 and a half. Right, okay. We'll go for Lozzie. Right, so Lozzie, you
Damnation.
have...
I think I counted 10, but obviously I think it's gonna be 9.5 now because
Oh no, we'll give you a full. Fuck it, you were there, right? Okay, so how many did I just give you my 18 and a half?
18 and a
You're in
half.
19. You're in 19. Okay, right.
Right.
Okay, so we have
I think Lozzie was
one.
in it more, so maybe half and then wait longer than 3/4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did you come to Rendlesham, Loz? You didn't, did you?
No.
No. 7,
One?
8. No.
No.
9. 9? 10. 10,
10.
sorry. The
Yeah.
hospital. Yeah, 10 to 10. 10, 10.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, because the first Rendlesham was just me and Bailey, wasn't it? Me, Bailey, and Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ah. So Ronnie gets 1 point.
Ronnie
Yeah.
gets the 1 point.
Right, okay, so...
No, 2
Scott,
points. He was in Reddition Part 2, wasn't he?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
2
yeah,
points.
right.
Right,
Two points.
Scott. 1. And that's it. No, I'm joking. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you weren't in the hotel. 4. That hotel. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scott's been at 8.
Oof.
Nice. This year, Scott, you need to get that into double figures.
Those are rookie numbers. You need to pump those
You need
numbers up.
Pump those
Put
numbers
those
up.
numbers up.
And then, right, Bailey.
Those are
Okay,
big
so
numbers.
Bailey, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
That's it. That's it.
So you have the same amount as mine.
And that's with giving you a sympathy point, Maya. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I get the sympathy point because it was my fucking fuel, my 7 hours
True.
worth of driving, and my car. So
True.
Oh, here it comes.
fucking, you know what? You can give me a sympathy point for every other investigation where I drove and provided the fuel. And I think Scott gets a load of sympathy points for finding the locations and booking them.
Oh,
So
there's a lot of
we
sympathy.
can take it down this route if you want, and I'll fucking beat the lot of you, including you, Jordan.
I've been doing this for years.
That's it. That's it.
I'm the
But
reason
yeah.
they're all haunted.
However,
for every time a spirit box has been used.
yeah, for the
Yeah, to
sheer,
be
for
fair,
the sheer trauma.
Without Scott, there would be no Estes method.
Yeah,
So,
necrophonic still.
That's true.
yeah, exactly. Me and Scott combined. Scott came with the spirit box. Me came with.
Listen, I'm not doubting anyone's efforts or anything like that. I was just wondering how many everyone had been in. I didn't realize it was going to tank the team. That's it, and that's it. It's over.
Just need more
I
dedication from
also-
someone. You know what I mean?
I
I'm joking.
also lived in the house that you guys made haunted with your Darren Woods trip. So
Very
that's
much a point.
20.
That's a
I
nice
also
point.
lived with the doll, 21.
There you go.
And
That's it.
3 sympathy points. So I'm on 24. Jordan, you're
You
on
live with
23.
Jordan, who might be possessed.
I slept
True.
in a tree.
That's a sympathy point.
That's it.
But yeah, it's all fun and games, isn't it? Until you get possessed and burn in hell for eternity.
True.
So it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, thank you for joining us. I mean, there's a few bits to cut out because we had little breaks and stuff, but we're at 2 hours. So
It was a
yeah, it's
hefty
been
one.
fun. Yeah, I knew it would be. I knew it would be. I thought if well, when it was 15 minutes in.
And not one was on the board yet.
Oh no, was it 40 minutes in and we'd spoken about 2?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it weren't we were never getting this out in one. I don't think the next episode will be the follow-up to this. I think we'll do a different topic and then we'll return to it. So we'll have a 1 pod break and then we'll be back to finish this tier list, all right? But yeah,
Nice.
guys, thanks for joining me as always. People
Thanks.
at home, thank you for tuning in and listening and all that good stuff. Share the pod. Become a patron if you want to get your question in. You can join for just £1. So join for £1. Ask your question. then you can just cancel your membership if you wanted, and then get the quid refunded. I mean, you could literally do that. If you wanted, I don't mind. But or you could support the pod, support the investigation stuff. But yeah, David, thank you for your question, and also in the comments of these videos and that, if you give us suggestions for stuff that you want us to cover, that'd be cool too. Oh, the other thing that I just wanted to mention, just purely because of I feel like you guys at home can really appreciate now how fucking cold the ancient Ram Inn was. I had the idea of maybe over the year we do like 3 extra investigations
Yeah.
in like the summer or whatever that we can put up on December, January, and February, so we don't have to go to these horrifically cold
Yeah.
places.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think we will talk about this in the follow-up episode for this, but that I've never known cold like it, and I will
was
never
bad.
go through that again.
I thought Haprica was cold at the start of 2023, and then
Africa
the
was
end
lovely and warm.
in
Yeah, in
comparison.
comparison,
In
I would
comparison,
live in Haprica rather than spend
Yeah.
one night at the Ram. That was
Yeah.
so cold.
Yeah. I mean, you think about how cold it was outside of Haprica. I can't imagine what it would have been like in the Ram that night.
Yeah.
and it was
Everything
icy
was
outside.
icy.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Horrendous.
because that's why we
Horrendous.
stayed in a hotel, because we didn't want to drive back because it was too icy. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 degrees when we went to the Ram.
Yeah.
We'll
Bad.
go into
Yeah.
detail next time, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we should have been warned. I
Yeah,
think.
we should have. Yeah, it's a bit naughty. It's a bit
And
naughty.
I
Yeah.
want to express this to people that are going. Dress
wrap
up
the fuck up,
because
Jesus
you are going
Christ.
to freeze, especially
15
if you're
layers
going
isn't
this
enough.
week.
3
Oh
piece
my
suit.
god.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's right. Anyway, that's a discussion for another
You
time.
can light the fires, use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Code Duty for 20% off, Rafe. Drinkrave.com.
Gosh.
Thank you. We'll see you
Get
again
that
soon.
banner up.
Don't get spooked. Don't get possessed. But get
Drip.
funky.
Get
See ya.
drippy.
Oh, drip drop.
Pat,
Motherfucker.
pat, pat.
Pat, pat, pat.
Kill it, Loz.
Okay, yeah, kill it with fire.